Welcome again to another episode of It's Just Person Podcast. I just want to hop on here for a few minutes. This is gonna be my last time speaking on Shaquella Robinson, the lady that was killed in Mexico by her friends, and they left her there as they returned back to the States. Um, one thing my take from it was she was naive to the obvious. Had she been in tune with her spirit of discernment, she could have felt what was going on because she would have had a gut feeling. But I don't know. Maybe she did have her gut feeling on the situation, and she overlooked it. You can't overlook things the obvious. Cause she been friends with these jokers. One guy she been friends with for 5 years, and I'm telling you, and like I said before, I said I bet you, she was the one that paid for that villa they was in. I bet she paid for that villa. I bet she paid for their tickets. I bet she paid for everything. Because I know I listened to the father. He said that they robbed her. That they stole $10,000 from her, and they all plotted because I seen a video where the girl came. She came in there looking for him. In the room, we gotta learn how to read the room. You gotta learn how to read people. If you, because I'm quite sure. Because, like I said, me personally, whenever I walk into a room and I have a bad feeling about that room, and I look at the people in that room, I'm going to read the room, and I'm going to get the hell out of there. Never underestimate and never overlook your gut feeling. Because when people show you who they are, believe them. Stop trusting people. Stop easily trusting people and believing folks. Stop taking them on face value. Because I know these people showed her who they were before that trip. You gotta learn how to cut folks off. You find somebody talking about you, you cut them off. Now if you gotta have a big relationship with them because you work around them, you gotta deal with them accordingly. You talk to them as it relates to the job, and you leave it at that. Don't discuss your personal business. Don't discuss nothing with them because they don't deserve it. They've earned the right to be left out. And here this girl, she was naive. She was naive to the obvious. When she walked into that room, and that they was planning on what they was gonna do to that young lady. And then when that girl went to bed, when she went to bed, because there's another video out now, when the girl went to bed because she was naked, she went to bed, and they woke her up with that BS. She was at her most vulnerable state. She was asleep. Those weren't friends. Those are not friends. Friendship is earned. You just don't freely give it to nobody because you just met him yesterday, and you say that's your friend. No, that's somebody I just met yesterday. It's going to friendship have to be tried and tested. You don't easily get that title up on put it on nobody. That's just like on these jobs. You go to these jobs to work. You don't go to these jobs and make no friends. Those are not your goddamn friends. Those are your coworkers. Those are your coworkers, and that's all they are. I don't go on this job to make no friends. I don't have friends. I don't have friends on these jobs. 'Cause we so envious and jealous of each other. We don't want to see nobody do better than ourselves. If you find yourself around folks, if they talk about folks all the time and they negative, you need to get away from them folks. Because if they could talk to you about somebody, they could talk about they talking about your ad to somebody. You're not exempt from that. A miserable person is a miserable person. And they function well around other miserable folks. If you don't want that in your spirit, you get away from around it. And you got 30-year-old females, 40, 50, 60-year-old females. That's all they do all day is sit around and talk about folks. I won't let nobody occupy that much space in my mind. I got folks that I work with. That's all they do every day. Talk about folks. Talk about folks. And all you gotta do is look at their life, how their life is. They got a messed up life, so they try to come here and and mess up the life at the job. And you got these folks, grandmothers, mothers, and they some of the most miserable people and then they want to quote a Bible or scripture, listen to gospel music, and they the biggest devils. And I bet these young ladies, these group of people right here were the same way. They didn't see the value in that young lady's life. That girl could have helped them out, could have given them some type of business advice and helped them build a business or help them start one. But yet they didn't see that. All they see was her, and they were so envious and hateful. They wanted to kill her, so they wanted to end her life. And they weren't even. You don't have authority over nobody else's life to end nobody's life because you're so hateful of yours. Yours is miserable. It's not her fault that you messed up your life. And all of y'all need to be prosecuted. I hope they extradite you to Mexico, and I hope they put you in a Mexican prison. Y'all don't deserve to see the light of day. An eye for an eye. I don't feel sorry for none of y'all because y'all didn't take mercy on that young lady. Y'all beat that girl. Y'all robbed that girl. And then y'all killed that girl. I wouldn't be surprised if them guys didn't sexual assault that girl. Then you gonna come back to the states. They gonna look in the mama face. They gonna lie to the mama. You got to be a scum of the earth to sit down and lie to the mama's face about what happened to her daughter. And like I've always said, it's always the ones that's close to you that can inflict the most damage on you because they know everything about you. That's why you have to stop talking to these folks. You don't let them know everything. You don't tell them what you plan on doing. You don't you leave them in the dark. I'm so every time I see that video, I get pissed off. That girl up there, the girl beating that. Well, I think that's a woman. And it's out now there. That was a man, but beating that girl like that because they knew that girl was not gonna fight back. They knew it. I bet she would have done it to somebody that she know that was gonna fight back. It would have been a different story. Yeah, they would have been reading about her ass left in Mexico. I bet them girls were the mastermind behind that. What happened to the sisterhood, sister code, where y'all supposed to protect each other? Y'all lured that girl. Y'all planned on killing that girl when you was in the States. And then when you got to Mexico, you thought you gonna get away with it. R.I.P. to Shaquella Robinson, and I hope all of y'all, I hope all that was involved uh, get locked up for life in that Mexican prison. See how you like that? Don't go running now. Yeah, you did the crime. Now do the time. Don't go running. Yeah, I hope somebody filming the guy that had that camera. I hope somebody filmed him, telling him to fight back when he in that jail and they getting assaulted. I want you to fight back. I want all of y'all to fight back. Y'all the poor excuse for friends. That's why I'm cautious of people. I watch people. I study people because if you cross me one time, I limit my communication with you. I got folks right now that I've limited my communication with them. It's just on a business. If I work with you, it's on a business level. I tell you what I need done and leave it at that. I ain't talking to you about my kids, none of that. Because you're not going to use anything against me. When we as a race, we so jealous hearted towards each other. Especially when you find an older person that keep up mess. Hell, you supposed to be an example to these younger kids. Hell, I can imagine if you got grandkids or you got daughters. That's why I tell guys, man, when you meet somebody and you thinking about marrying them, you better go meet them parents. Cause that's your future right there. Just like she's your future. That's how she gonna be. If you want to put up with that, more power to you. Go ahead and marry her. If you don't, better get your ass on out of there. Let them talk about you. Let them talk about you. Yeah, that's your life. You in charge of that. You don't let nobody dictate to you how you run your life. Yeah, they couldn't even run their life. So how they gonna tell you about your life? All they can do to you is run your life in the ground. Run your life and make you out to be nothing, just like them. Get yourself around people that has your best interests at heart. That's gonna push you towards your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. Stop wasting your time with these losers, folks that don't want none out of life. They don't destroy their life, so they're gonna help you destroy yours. They don't care. But this young lady was naive to the obvious, and don't you be naive to the obvious. You see the signs, you feel it in your gut. Follow your gut and read them signs. If you found any value in this video, like, share, subscribe to my channel. It's Just Person Podcast. Like I always say, whatever you do it better. Choose wisely when you associate yourself with people.